Hey y'all, it's Sexy Sunday. But, since it's October, we are going to do something a little different. Okay? We're still going to have our champagne. And today it's pink, technically blush, I think, but whatever. Anyways, get a drink. But since it's October, we're going to focus on the fatal sexy side. The femme fatales. And this whole month of October, we're going to focus on those. The women that hide behind beauty to cover their sadistic nature, the manipulators and the gold diggers. The evil side of beauty. So grab your glass of champagne and settle in because you're going to need it for this one. But I want to take a minute to say something that has just been really bugging me, okay? The world has gone crazy. Now, I don't have an issue with anyone being gay or bisexual or trans or anything like that. So let's make that clear right up front, okay? But I stumbled upon a report that said we are no longer allowed to say pregnant women anymore. It's no longer politically correct. We are supposed to say pregnant person. What? The last time I checked, men could not get pregnant. If you want a sex change, more power to you. That's okay with me. I don't care. I don't judge, to each his own. But there are only two genders, biological genders ever, male and female. And that's of any species. And only the female of any species can get pregnant. Hello. But come on, y'all. I don't know where some of these people get their ideas. But today we're focusing on the femme fatale. So we're focusing on even if you are trans, you turned from man to woman, that's okay. You can count on this list too if you are a femme fatale. So today we're focusing on a woman named Marjorie Orbin. She started out as Marjorie Marquis, and she was 25 years old, y'all, in 1985. Now, Marjorie was a physically fit, tall, blonde, and she was really endowed. Well, y'all, you know the kind that most of us would be damn envious of. Now, just being honest, I, like most women, have always had my own feminine wiles and have never been jealous or envious of another woman, but I could see how that could happen. Now, she had this signature look, wearing black eyeliner, bright pink lipstick. Well, she had ambitions of being a dancer, but she ended up being a stripper. No, she was a stripper. This platinum blonde could transform herself into every man's fantasy. And this made being a stripper very lucrative for her. She knew how to seduce men. She knew that she could take her clothes off and get whatever she wanted out of any man. And as a matter of fact, she was married 7 times by the time she was 34. Manipulating men, that was a skill for her, and she used others to get what she wanted. Now, Marjorie carried herself with a lot of pride and arrogance, and that made her stunning. But in Vegas, she wore the rhinestone bikinis and the feather boas, and she was on stage with a lot of other beautiful showgirls. But she left Vegas due to personal reasons and was headed back home to Florida. But her car broke down in Arizona, so she was stuck in Phoenix until her car was fixed. She wore the skimpy little outfits that showed everything off, but there was no place in Phoenix for a showgirl. That's where she found stripping. In Phoenix is where she met Jay Orbin. Jay was a salesman and a decent looking guy and was friendly, but he had a weakness like most men for beautiful women. And not many men could resist Marjorie anyway. Now, in Phoenix, she lived at the motel across from the strip club. And Jay had a habit of helping out the strippers when they, were in a bind, needed a little money, needed a place to stay, that sort of thing. So when Marjorie found this out, she set her sights on Jay. She was not attracted to him at all. But when he starts, lavishing her with gifts and spending money on her drinks, she thinks he's rich. When Jay finds out she's living out of the motel, he offers her a room at his house. So she gladly accepts. But she was sorely disappointed when she sees the moderate home that Jay, he didn't have a mansion or anything like that. But anyway, they started a brief affair that lasted about 3 years when Marjorie left and went back to Vegas. Now, while in Vegas, Jay starts a jewelry company called Jayhawk International, and he traveled everywhere for business. And everywhere he traveled, he looked for Marjorie. See, we all know that one that got away is the one you're never going to get over. So everywhere he traveled, he looked for Marjorie. Now, Marjorie, she was getting older and found there was something missing in her life. After all, she was getting older in a young woman's job. And the one thing the men she had been with did not want to give her, no matter how hard she tried, was a baby. It could be that Marjorie only stayed in a relationship until she became dissatisfied or bored and then moved on. You can't get a baby that way. Now, Jay finds Marjorie on a business trip to Vegas, and they start catching up. That is when Jay makes Marjorie a deal. Marry him, and if she is not pregnant within 2 years, she can walk away. Y'all, little did he know he was making a deal with the devil. Now, their son was born August 1996. And from the time he was born, she controlled everything about him. And since she did not want her son to look anything like his father, honey, she even started bleaching his hair from a very young age to match hers. So everyone thought they were the perfect couple, but I guess the truth rings true. You can't make no hoe into a housewife. In this case, anyway. So, because Jay traveled a lot, Marjorie had several affairs, and she was constantly putting Jay down. But divorce would leave her broke, and by this time, Jay's estate was worth $1.5 million. So, he loved her. He thought the world of her. So he bought her cars and diamonds and anything else she wanted. But y'all, what she really wanted was to be free of Jay. She felt like she had gotten all she wanted from Jay and she did not need him anymore. So she starts thinking this, y'all. He is worth more to her dead than alive. And, Jay was supposed to come home from a business trip, but never made it back. But while Jay was missing, Marjorie immediately started draining his bank accounts. She bought new patio furniture. She had the house painted. She bought new clothes. Y'all, she even started maxing out his credit cards and hoarding the cash. That don't sound right. So, but the worst is that she moved on within weeks with a guy named Larry Weisberg and even convinced her son, y'all, to call Larry Dad. I don't know about y'all, but if my husband was truly missing, I would be beating down doors to find him. not maxing out his credit cards and draining what I suspect is a joint account. Oh, and probably draining his business accounts also. Suspicious. I mean, she thought she could seamlessly get her husband out of the way and replace him with a new guy, as if those who know and love Jay were not going to say, wait a minute. Now, on October 4th, 2004, there were containers found in the Phoenix desert. The first one only contained a torso. I bet you already know where this is going. Now, Marjorie had above average intelligence and believed she could get away with anything. And she actually may have, but guess what? Greed ultimately is why she is caught. You see, Jay came home early from his last business trip on September 8th, 2004, because it was his birthday. It was his 45th birthday, and he wanted to spend his birthday with his wife and son. Boy, was he surprised when he pulled into the garage of their home. Marjorie shot and killed him instantly. Can you imagine the shock Jay must have felt in the last moment? Well, she puts him in the freezer. And then later, after he is good and frozen, she cuts him up with a jigsaw. And because he was frozen, there was no blood nor any smell. Now, after putting the pieces back into the freezer, she painted the garage floor to get rid of evidence. But here's where she gets caught, y'all. Without a body, she was not going to get the insurance payout for 7 years. So she took part of the remains and left them in the desert where she knew they would be found because it was a place that people walk through often. Now, y'all know today you can't make a move without being caught on camera. At least somewhere along your route where you're going, someone's going to catch you on camera. If it's not a doorbell camera, you're going to get caught on somebody's private security camera. And especially if you go in a store, you're going to get caught by a camera in the store. Well, Marjorie was caught on security camera buying the containers that the body was found in. And clues found by forensic pathologists, they actually matched the marks on the body to the saw blades found in Jay's workshop. And, well, Marjorie was sentenced to life without parole. Now, according to ex-FBI profiler Candace DeLong, Marjorie fits the profile of a fortune hunter, aka gold digger, with just the utter contempt and disregard Marjorie showed to Jay, especially with his body after death. That just astounds me, y'all. I cannot kill anything, much less someone I'm supposed to love. I think she got what she deserved. She gets to stay in a place where nobody cares what she looks like and will remain there until all signs of beauty has been taken away from her by time. And then she will die in prison, and that is all she will be sad about. Not that she took someone's life, just that time took away, her beauty. Now, y'all, this is only one of the femme fatales we're going to cover this month. So, hit that like and subscribe button if you hadn't. But this is the story of Marjorie Orbin, and this one was at the top of my list as being one real sadistic bitch. One I would have liked to got my hands on and just choked the life out of. So anybody with any kind of disregard for life like that, they deserve to be in prison. And in prison, honey, I've been to jail. Nobody cares what you look like. You can be a beauty queen. You're going to get treated like anybody else. Nobody cares. And you can't use those feminine, oh yes, that you could on men. Most women don't go well with that. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. This is your girl Jen saying, hey, hit that like and subscribe, because hitting that like button is a free way to help your girl out. And until next time, I will see you guys next time. Hopefully soon I'll have you a new femme fatale. Bye!